We've arrived at St Margaret's Church at Hopton-on-Sea, which
We made it!
We've made it!
We made it!
With broken ankles. One chipped, one broken. We've made this entire pilgrimage from Land's End in Cornwall to the ruins of this church. And there's these two huge old oak trees here which feel very much the guardians of this place. And in Hamish Miller's book, which was published in 1989, The Sun and the Serpent, their pictures of this were just of ruins, and now it says it's a community garden.
Yeah, it was all overgrown. Like the picture, it's like overgrown, got thistles, got everything. And now, 2015, in 2014 there was a 3-day archaeological dig, yeah, that Norfolk archaeologists finding out all the different phases of the church, and then in 2015 it became a community project, and this is what beautiful thing we've got now. It's amazing.
Yeah. So there's a sign here. Read what some of it says. So it said it's described in 1826, and then again in 1847, and it's described in 1897 by Mrs. James Order of Hopton Hall. Describes the fire that destroyed this church.
Yeah,
For more than 600 years, the church had been witness to God and the centre of religious life and activity. But in less time than 2 hours, the greater part of the building, which had stood the ravages of time and storm for so many centuries, perished by fire. On January the 8th, 1865, dry weather and a gale blowing the stove became overheated after morning service. And that was it, really. The whole thing went up in flames.
So, to show this was the original church building, then pre-1300, 1300, 1400, 1500, and then here 1865 burnt.
Got some images of the gargoyles. It's saying the church is mainly constructed from flint, stone and brick. And we've seen a lot of flint lying around this part of the country, actually. Some of the murals were whitewashed, and the churches were decorated with vivid patterns or pictures illustrating biblical scenes for the illiterate population.
The most amazing thing, we have just found Mary and Michael Pilgrim Way. How amazing is that? Set on the back of this church, the ruined church of St Margaret's. We have the end of our pilgrimage. Hurrah!
Hurrah! And it's the only place we've actually seen the Mary and Michael lines visibly acknowledged. So that's interesting. Interesting about this St Margaret's Church that was destroyed by fire is that it's very similar to St Margaret's story, because she was swallowed by a dragon, and then she exploded from its stomach. So So a bit like this church, he was actually consumed by the fire of the dragon. And then the village rebuilt the church. We're going to go and look for that church. And so it is like a resurrection again. And apparently the church has a window designed by Burne-Jones, who is a famous artist, pre-Raphaelite artist. So there's a gate here we can go in. Yeah. So we're inside the church now. It's just a really gorgeous place. Lovely lush grass and little poppies here that have sprung up. So beautiful.
So the Mary line is coming in this side. The Michael line is getting indicated towards where Alison is. So, and just coming here. So here they are running parallel with each other. There we go.
Oh yeah.
The Mary and the Michael.
And that's where that sign is outside there. Is on the
yeah.
is on where they're running together.
Yeah. And now we will follow it out to the sea, and we'll go to where the sea is, and we'll say farewell.
Yeah.
Well, we'll welcome actually, because you know what I mean. Like we'll be welcoming and saying farewell.
Yeah. Both.
Because as any electricity line, it runs both ways.
Yes. Let's hope so.
Okay.
So when we arrived, something really strange happened. That there was a collared dove, being quite important on this journey. It sort of represents the spirit, really. And the dove had something wrong with its wing, and the male dove was trying to mate with it, so we went over to help it because it looked really distressed. Well, Jay went over to help it and picked it up, and we put it in some bushes so it's got some more protection there, but it had something wrong with its side as well. So it's kind of maybe a metaphor of the illness of spirit in our world today. All our industrialization and, you know, not honoring life, not honoring human beings, very money orientated, power orientated society that we live in. Maybe it's a reflection of that. It really upset us. Had a good cry, and we've sent it some healing, so hopefully we've done something good for it.
Send healing out to the world, to the collared dove, to the earth, and to Margaret, St. Margaret's and St. Mary's, and St. Michael's. We send out love and healing, positivity, and most of all, love. And we offer this song to the world.
Ellen of the pathways, all roads lead to the source. In the memory of trees, in the sundance of the bees, We are following the flash of your golden tail to the source of love, to the Holy Grail. Ellen of the pathways, all roads lead to the source. In the stories of the stones, in the marrow of our bones, we are following the flash of your golden tail to the source of light, to the Holy Grail. Ellen of the pathways, all roads lead to the source. In the flight of the swallow, in the wild geese arrow, we are following the flash of your golden tail to the source of power, to the Holy Grail. Ellen of the pathways, all roads lead to the source. In the song of the whale, in the luminescent trails, we are following the flash of your golden tail to the source of love, to the Holy Grail.